Right, so it's the building drafting N5. That's the subject you are doing, and it's an AutoCAD based module. You must know that in the exam you need to know how to use your AutoCAD software, which is the same as electrical drafting and structural steel detailing and mechanical drafting. The only subjects that you don't use the computer are general, pictorial, and mechanical orientation. Only those three. Okay.
Okay.
Then I've uploaded the book on Google Classroom. You need to go through the book because the PowerPoint is just summarized, information. It's not like the entirely everything that is coming from the book. We took important points and then we put on the PowerPoint slide, which is also shared on Google Classroom. You need to go through the PowerPoint slide when you have time, and then relate it to the book, which is electronic textbook. And before I start, you need to understand the setup of the exam. In any question paper, the first question, you need to be taking notes because I'm not using the board. In any building question paper, the first question is either theory or detailed drawings. Theory, if it comes, it's 10 marks, roughly 10 marks. I'll tell you which part of theory you can find in question 1. And then if they don't ask you for theory question, they might ask you for a detailed drawing. A detailed drawing can be a section through the foundation, just a small section of the foundation, but in detailed, meaning it must be fully annotated and with all the measurements and dimensions and all the names of the foundation, anything that is below the ground, starting with the concrete slab, screed, foundation footing, and the rest of the things. You'll see which one is the foundation section. By next week, I'll be going through that part. And then if it's not a foundation section, they can ask you for a window or door section. Those are detailed questions we're saying. Maybe you cut through the window and then show us the parts of the window across when you're looking across the window, not facing the window, on the side of the window. Also, the door is the same. You cut through the door and then show us the section through the door. Then another part they can ask in question 1 is a roof section. At the corner of the roof where it slopes, when the house has a roof and it's a slopy roof, at the corner there's what we call a roof edge, okay? Eave, they usually call it a roof eave. They can ask you to draw a detail of a roof eave. So if question 1 comes like a detailed drawing, they will ask you for 20 marks. Just to answer that one, you have to draw on AutoCAD 20 marks. Then there might be theory or there's not going to be theory at all. But if they ask you for theory, then it's theory in question 1. Sometimes it's theory combined with detailed drawings. Sometimes it's just detailed drawings only, no theory. So it depends with the question paper and how the examiner will set it up. Question 2 in the exam question paper is floor plan. A floor plan is a section floor plan, we call it, because we are looking on top of the house. We are looking from the top of the house, and then we have to show what is in the house, all the room partitions and all the brick thicknesses, everything. We cut halfway through the window or along the house all the way and remove the roof. And then we are viewing from the top. We call it a roof or a floor plan, should I say. It's a floor plan. It's a detailed floor plan. I mean, all measurements must be included on that floor plan. Internal dimensions of the rooms, external dimensions, window dimensions, anything that that is going to help the builders to build without problems. So I emphasize to students to say, please make sure that whenever you're doing the designs in building drafting, assume that you are the builder, then you will know that I'll have challenges to build if I don't put this dimension on. Then it's going to help you. A floor plan itself carries 35 marks in the exam. 30 marks minimum, 35 marks maximum. It's one of the important questions in the question paper. It's the most important question, I should say. Apart from the floor plan, the rest of the drawings you can't draw, because all other drawings will be extracted from the floor plan. So that is the one, which is question 2 in any question paper. And they'll give you information. You'll be given scenario, like design a 3-bedroomed house, self-contained, You know, they'll mention a lot of stuff. You'll see when I start explaining that part, I'll use the board for you to understand. Then the third question is a sectional elevation. A sectional elevation, it means you are cutting through the house now in a vertical direction. You cut the house from the roof to the ground and throw half of the house, the way we did sectioning last time on mechanical. You cut your house halfway across the house, not along the length, across the width. That's why we call it cross-sectional elevation. You cut across the house, throw one piece away, and then start looking on whatever you can see. It can be toilet, sink, anything you have to show in elevation. If there's a door as we are looking, we have to draw a door. Whatever we are able to see at that point, when we stand at the cutting plane line and we are viewing, anything must be indicated. And then you do the hatching on the bricks because you have cut through. It's a material. We are going to hatch the bricks, but you'll see examples of those drawings. That one is 28 to 30 marks. It depends again with the examiner. If the question is a bit complex, it goes to 32 marks. But minimum is 28 marks to 32 marks. Sectional elevation. Just the floor plan and the sectioning drawing, these two are more than 60% in the exam.
Luckily for me, I did design a couple of houses for someone.
You've done that?
Yes, I actually designed my boss's house.
Beautiful. Then you find it very easy. You understand then.
It's just the time, that's all, you know.
The time, you need enough time to practice,
Yeah.
That is question 3. Then question 4 is going to be elevations. You know elevations, north elevation, east, west, and south. Meaning now we are going around the house. And then for us to know which side is the north elevation, we have to look at the north arrow. You will see on the site plan, there's always a north arrow. And on your floor plan, there must be a true geographical north in relation to the location where the dwelling is based. Because the north can change depending on where you are on the earth.
Yes. We call it the true north.
True north, correct. So that true north tells us exactly which side is our north elevation, and then we will know that the opposite is our south elevation, and then there will be east and then west. That one is not a lot of marks in the exam. It's like 10 to 15 marks elevations. If it's too easy, just 10 marks. You are going around your house from outside. You will show us the roof, whatever roof type is there. If there are windows, show us in elevations exact sizes. It's not just to draw a window just because it's a window. It must be actual size of the window. Okay, and the actual height of the window from the finished floor, which I will talk about later on. But basically, that's the setup of the exam. And then the last question is the site plan, which is mostly coming on question number 5. A site plan is just a type of a drawing, you know, working drawings or construction drawings that indicates the boundary lines, you know, borderline, property line, building lines, and the proposed dwelling. It just shows us exactly where the house will be based or will be built. And that's where they will dig the trenches. And then you need to show the roof plan also on the house plan. We are not going to show a floor plan as in detailed. We show you only the outside boundaries of your house. You see, outside.
Yes. You basically find
measurements, correct.
Hovering over it with your drone. Take a picture of it, you know, according to the other houses.
So do not draw a floor plan on a site plan because it's got its own question. So students are usually getting confused to say the dimensions that are given on a site plan for the house. Is it the internal dimensions or external dimensions? Please, it's external dimensions. Those dimensions, they include brick thicknesses and everything is in there. It's your floor area. You can't go more than that. It means everything will be designed within that floor area allocated to you. So we'll see through the examples I'm going to show you. So those are the 5 questions that we need to understand, that whether we like it or not, we are going to face such questions. Then question 1, again, I forgot. They can ask you for sewerage system, you know, the manhole or inspection chamber.
Yes.
The manhole or inspection chamber is, you know, they need the section through a manhole or through the inspection chamber, just showing us the diameter, the depth, the pipe that is bringing, you know, all the pipes coming there, because it's a main connection line on which all the drainage pipes will going to dispose their own, things there before it goes to municipality. Because it's every building that must have a manhole or the inspection chamber. And in case of blockages in the yard, they go there to inspect and check which line has a problem. But that question can come in question 1 as well. So when we go to the electronic textbook, I'll show you to say this is what I mean. Because you see the manhole, you will see the elevations, you will see site plan, you will see the floor plan, and then you will see whatever we are discussing now.
Mrs. V, question 5, how many points is that? How many marks?
It's 16, let's say 10 to 16 marks.
10 to 16, okay.
Yes, just know that it's around 10 to 16 marks, not too much. That's a site plan. A site plan, it's just, copy and paste, should I say.
Yes.
You don't need to design anything. Whenever they ask for a site plan, you have to do as they have just done. You just copy the drawing as it is. And for sure, it's going to show you all the fixtures outside and the nearby roads, you see.
Yeah. And that is on the African Academy templates, eh?
Yeah?
That's all on the African Academy templates.
Yes. I'll show you those things again because your symbols are very important when you are doing this subject. You have to import everything. You are not going to draw things from scratch. The windows, doors, furniture, mention them. We have them on the library. So I'll try to share the screen again to show you, directions on where to get information.
The route how to get there, yes, that will be very important to us.
It's very important because it's just a copy and paste and then rotate and put in place. You don't draw like from scratch.
Correct.
You must know that it's going to be very easy.
I think the path you gave us, beginning, it was AutoCAD, open and new. Then you go to select the file. Then you go to Autodesk files. Then you look in public, find public, and you look at the templates. You find all the templates under public, and there you will get AutoCAD, buildings, structures, and mechanical.
Yes.
Is that the correct path?
That's correct. Yeah, you go to public. You must go to the server. The server is on the desktop, okay? Server icon is on the desktop. Double click, then inside server you go to public. Inside public you find all our subjects, building, mechanical, electrical. You click on building folder. Inside there is the symbols. There's architectural symbol and just normal symbols. You can check through those ones. The normal symbol is the AutoCAD format with all our
those
symbols
to download. I already downloaded.
You did, eh?
I do.
That's good. That's very good. Then whatever you are drawing, you copy. You see a question paper because they specify the types of windows to use. You are not going to use your own windows. They will tell you that this window is window code 01 W1, W2. The sizes will be different, obviously, because the rooms are having different windows.
Correct.
And then what I'll do, I'm not sure if you have checked on Google Classroom. I shared a paper last block for those that were doing building drafting. It is saying standard room sizes.
I remember I saw something like that.
You need to go down, 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 down. If you don't find, let me know, then I can post it to the group. That one shows you the at least standard room sizes for the kitchen, bathroom, lounge, bedroom. You don't design things of your own size. You need to be around South African Bureau of Standards Codes of Building Regulations. At least, though I don't expect you to design exact dimensions, but don't deviate too much from the standard sizes of rooms. Yeah.
You say it's in Google Classroom somewhere?
Yes. All the material that I was posting last block, just look around. You go down, 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 you'll find it.
All right.
That is also another important paper I give students when I'm just starting. And then I tell them that the minimum length of any room is 2 meters. That is according to SABS, or South African National Standards.
Yeah, SANS.
Yes, SANS. 2 meters is the minimum length except for passage, kitchen, scullery, and the corridors and all that. You can have less
I think that minimum there is 800.
Yes.
In the passage. Yes,
for the passage minimum is 800, but the standard is 900 for your passage.
Yes.
Use 900
as well. Yes.
So what I'm saying is I should not find you designing a house with a bedroom of 1.99. Even if it's 1.99, it's not 2 meters. It must be 2 meters and above. That's
for immediate.
Yeah. Those are the things we learn from beginning, and also knowing the standard ceiling height, from the floor ground, finished floor, to the ceiling, which is 2.4 meters minimum. That is the height, floor height. Yeah, 2.4 meters. Also, the other height you must know is the height from the finished floor to the top of the window or to the top of the door, which is 2.1 meters.
Correct.
Correct.
You
So
don't go
those are
above
important
2.1.
things.
Yeah, you don't go above 2.1 and you don't go at ground level.
Yes. 2.1 is from finished floor line.
Yes.
Okay. So let's look at this now. I'm clicking, yeah. Learning content, they're saying module 1 is theory throughout, like 10% in the exam. The value of the question paper is 10%. Then module 2 in the book is talking about building construction for 30 marks. All the drawings that I was talking about, like foundation details, all that can be about roughly 30%. Then module 3 talks about all the building drawings. It can be, you know, single-story houses, floor plan, site plan, sectioning, and elevations. You see, like 60%. So this 30 is about detailing. If ever they ask for manhole or foundation or a section through the window, that must add up to 100% in any question paper. They weigh it. Then, building drafting consists of the following modules. Introduction, 10 marks. The codes of practice are all found under introduction. There are too many, I mean too many. So I am not going to even have time to go through the theory of codes of practice. What does this say? What we need to know is basically the team players involved in a building project, starting with the owner of the project, who's the client, then coming to, you know, who's this? Constructors, main contractors, subcontractors, and then mention engineers, mention clerk of works, mention geotech engineers, land surveyors, you know. All of them you can mention, and you need to know their duties, because there is a theory question that can come here. Name 5 team players involved in a building project and their duties. So we have to know who is an architect. An architect obviously is the one representing the client. He's the one getting the idea from the client. Client doesn't know how to design. He knows what he wants. He's got money to employ the rest of the people. You understand?
And normally the architect comes up with a picture and the engineer comes up with a
Yes, he comes with engineers of his own and building draftsmen of his own.
Correct.
And then building designer, these are draftsmen, people designing the building. They call it an architect or designer. He's the one who's going to know what type of concrete to use, how many cement, how many blocks, how many, you know, water, how much of sand to mix with, to come up with a ratio for having a certain strength of concrete, which comes in different strength. There's high strength, medium strength. It is the architect, because he knows the purpose of the structure. And then there's draftsmen, which are the people that are drawing now, just copying what the architect has designed. It's draftsmen. Quantity surveyor is the person in charge of the bill of material. You know, how many of the things do we need? How much are they costing? You know, total cost of the project is done by the quantity surveyor. Okay, the owner is the owner of the project, who initiates the project. Me, I want this, because he's got money. He can just advertise his project or his whatever, and then they'll win a tender. You know, there are those people bidding until one wins, who's going to be less. Because what the owner does, he talks to the architect. The architect says, okay, we're going to sit with my quantity surveyor, and then roughly, you know, they do estimates. They will tell him to say, this project can cost you 2 million. Fine. Then let's advertise now the contract. When they advertise the tender, then the different people will be coming in. I can do it at this much. I can do it at this much. Until now, the architect and the owner finds the contractor who is near what they you know, estimated.
They call that a pre-feasibility and feasibility.
Feasibility studies.
Yeah.
That is done initially. That's why they call it pre-feasibility studies, because you are now comparing the pricing. Before even the contract's documentation is done, you have to know that, oh, this person is near our estimates. And then the quality, and obviously there's proof of what these people have done before. We can't just take anyone. You have to have, you know, quality information and what projects have they worked on, proof, all that. And then once the person has won the tender, is coming with his own team, you know, to do the building construction. Well, the owner, through the architect, also they send someone to represent them on site. Usually they use the clerk of works, to always check what is going on, if they are following instructions, they're not stealing cement, they're following safety rules. So there's too much beyond what we know. Otherwise, we need to know their duties. And there's builders as well, which are the just, floor guys that are just building. Then building inspector comes from municipality or from city council. Usually before you even get approved to do the building design or to erect any structure in South Africa, you have to follow some procedures according to SAB's code of practice, meaning that come up with all the construction working drawings. From there, you have to take them there, but an architect must approve them. Then you take them to municipality. Municipality will check, send the inspector to go and see the site. Before approval, there's processes here and there until they stamp to say it's a go-ahead. It means they are satisfied. You are not building in prohibited area. You are not disturbing people. There are many things. So all those things are found in these codes of practice. It's a lot of documents that you are going to find here. Okay, then approval of building plans, that is the same procedure that you guys must know by reading through module 1. Every time you are studying, go through module 1 basically, because now I will just go straight into the drawings by next week. Today I'll go briefly through theory, but next week I'll start showing you how to draw a floor plan. Today I'll introduce theory and then we touch a little bit on site plan so that you can start doing a site plan from the past papers that are on the Google Classroom. There's question papers there.
Okay.
Okay, so when we say building construction, building for 30 marks, it involves this. You see foundations, brickwork, lintels, which are the openings above windows and doors and window sections, roof sections, drainage and sewerage. These are the ones that you can find in question 1, should they ask anything on construction drawings. These are the drawings. Other than this, it's theory, which is 10 marks. And then site plan, floor plan, for single-story buildings only. We do not do multi-story buildings. It's single-story buildings. So these 60 marks is for the floor plan, section view, site plan, and drainage sewerage, and basically elevations as well, for 60 marks.
What do they mean there by the calculations?
Pardon?
They say the floor plan layout, and area calculations.
Yes, correct. You know what they mean by area calculations. Let me say, I tell you that you are going to design through this area for the floor plan. I give you area of the floor plan. Maybe it's 100 square meters. I give you one side of the house as maybe 15 meters long. Then I don't give you the other side. How are you going to get the width?
Correct. All right, that's why the 100 square meters, you work it up the square.
Apart from that, you'll find some floor plans that come with room areas already given to you. They just say lounge is 12 square meters. Bedroom is 6 square meters. Passage is this. They give you square meters. Do you know there you need to calculate the length times the width yourself?
Yes.
To come up to that square meter. If I say the lounge is 12 square meters, you can either use 4 by 3, which is 12. But it's not as easy as that. You see when I come to the floor plan, I will emphasize that. It's a matter of you coming up with measurements, suiting the areas given, but not going over the total area of your floor plan. You hear the point. The length of the total length of a floor plan must be the sum of all the length of the rooms in that site plus the bricks. So there's a bit of some mathematics there, but not too difficult. You'll get there when I come to the floor plan. Yeah, you need to know the area calculations. Then that is module 1. They're saying when you complete this module, a student must comply to the requirements of South African Bureau of Standards. 1, you need to know line work. I'll show you a drawing that shows what types of lines to use. I mean the layers that we use for different line work in building drafting.
I saw that in the handbook.
You saw it, good, that's the one. Dimensions, we have to know what ways we can show dimensions, like proper methods of dimensioning. and how far dimensions should be from your building, and just standard rules on dimensions. You need this. Then scale for different types of drawings. When we come to site plan, the scale for a site plan is not the scale I can use for detailed drawings. Those detailed drawings, they are drawn at a smaller scale. Some of them are 1:1 or 1:5 or 1:10 or 1:20, maximum 1:50. That's all. Like if you're doing a window section or you're doing a roof section or foundation, they are drawn at a smaller scale. When we come to a site plan, it's drawn on 1:1000, 1:200, 1:300, there's a standard scale that you must use according to SUB's code of practice. That's what they're saying. You have to know that, because the examiner brings the table. I'll show you the table. Then he's going to remove the answers, and then he's going to ask you to complete the table with correct answers in theory.
All right.
Symbols used in building construction, we'll see the table. It comes in theory also, under theory, for the 10 marks that we talked about. Representation of materials, these are also symbols. Layout of drawing sheet, this is the drawing template. They want you to know what information to show on a title block. Obviously, it's client details, checker, what, it's things like that. That is on the layout. Then, classification of drawings. Here we talk about types of drawings, starting with preliminary drawings, initial drawings. Then you go to construction drawing, detailed drawings, assembly drawings. We talk about all the 4 types and what they are. Checklist for working drawings. What it means is, if ever I am doing a floor plan, I need to know information that I must show on a floor plan. That is a checklist. I must use a checklist. If I'm doing a site plan, I need to have a checklist. Okay, site plan needs to have what? Plot number. A site plan needs to have drainage connection. A site plan needs to have a north arrow. A site plan needs to have title and scale. A site plan needs to have building lines, which is the property lines. A site plan needs to have, they call them pegs. The corners of the property line are the pegs. It's a checklist. So if you know your checklist, you'll be able to just answer these questions nicely. Of all the working drawings that you will deal with, you need to know the checklist. Lastly, on Module 1, you need to know the symbols for fittings and fixtures. What are these symbols? It's sanitary fittings like toilet, washing basin, shower, bathtub. Those are fittings in drawing that we call them. So you need to know the symbol for the shower, symbol for washing basin, for a toilet, which they call the washing closet. There are those terminologies that you guys must know, and it's all in Module 1 for 10 marks if ever they ask you things from here. Okay, this is a part of the floor plan showing you the line types, because we are saying you need to know line types. This line type that you see here, number 1, is a property line. Okay, we call it a boundary line. It's where your property ends. It is a thick, you can see thick dashed line, exactly as it is. On the layers, you must choose the layer, boundary line layer. You must write down for this one. It's a boundary line layer. But that boundary line layer is red color. If you leave it under red, it's going to be a thin dashed line. We need it to be a thick dashed line. So the color should be green. You need to change the color property to green, but under the layer boundary line layer. Did I make a point?
Yes.
I've got a problem with AutoCAD. I was going to open. I need to install a new one. I think the 2018 is giving problems. Yeah. So I'm saying use boundary line layer, fine. Then the color just change to green. As long as you're doing, because green will be a thick center line when you print.
Okay.
Then we come to a building line. They didn't show us here. A building line which comes inside the property line. It's going to be under boundary layer, but red color. So you don't change the color, just leave it like that. It's going to be a thin center line, like a thin dashed line, we call it. Like this one, but thin. The property line will be thick.
Okay.
It's going to have some corners here. I'll show you on a site plan. Then we do have windows. You can see the window, and there is a window in the plan view. The center of the window must be lining up with the center of the brickwork. This is your bricks. These bricks are not supposed to be painted. It should be hatched. You hear me? Because it's a section of a floor plan. You will do hatching here. You will do hatching, not painting like this.
Okay.
Then the windows must be on the layer, construction layer, because it's a lighter layer. Construction layer. Windows, furniture, and doors must, even the cupboards, whatever, must be under construction layer, fence layer. Then the brickwork, these bricks, all the bricks, as long as it's concrete work, it must be under outline, thick layer. This thick here, object line, is a thick line. That is all the concrete work. What else is here? Cutting plane, you can see the cutting plane line should be under this layer. We know cutting plane line. This one that you see, this square here, is a column. It's a square pillar. So usually in drawing, we measure from the fixed pillar. You see the dimension here, though they didn't put. They're saying you can use the center, the grid lines, we call them. You can use the grid line to measure from to inside of the wall. Or from here to there, you can measure, because it's a fixed fixture. Okay.
Okay.
And then this corner here, this roof here, it's a roof overhang. The roof overhang is how much the roof is sloping from the outside of the wall. This layer is a phantom layer. If you scroll down nicely, you'll see that it's a phantom layer. Okay, that is the line, phantom line. But there on our layer, we call it a roof edge layer, roof edge layer. And the color will remain in red, though the phantom line, they say that it must be blue. But we just leave it under that layer for, roof edge layer, and don't change anything. You'll see when you print that the work and the plot style is gonna pick all our layers nicely, because our printers have been set to pick up these layers. Like green will be thick, red will be light. We have set everything by default. That's why do not change the thickness of all the lines, all the layers. We have set them by default.
Okay.
All right. And then the rest of the lines, you have done them in general drafting. You will have to go through and just check. These are the important ones. It's the property line, the building line, and the brickwork, and the windows, and the roof edge layer.
Okay.
All right, so let's check this one. On dimensions, please have time to read on dimensions. They're saying that do not over dimension your drawing. Do not duplicate. What it means is you dimension on the right-hand side, same dimension, you go to the left-hand dimension again. That is duplicating dimensions. You have to dimension, but not more than necessary. Yeah. And then whenever you are reading dimensions, you have to know that we read them from right-hand side. All your measurements, the text on the dimension must be read from the left-hand side, or right-hand side, sorry. Yeah, from the right-hand side. So you have time and read through that. Let me check. Notes and annotations. In building drafting, notes and annotations are very important because they explain things that we can't draw, like the depth of a manhole on a floor plan or on a site plan. Will you be able to draw the depth on the plan view? No. So you have to annotate things that cannot be shown on a drawing. We do annotate. When I come to timber, I'm talking about a roof truss. Maybe I say this rafter size is 114 by 38. You will be able to see 114, but 38 is the depth. You can't see it. So you have to annotate, say rafter size, grade so much, 114 by 38. We know that that's its depth. So annotation is very important. Make sure that your drawing is fully annotated with all the important notes. And then this table shows the standard scale sizes for all the drawings that you will ever find. These are the scale sizes. If examiner is to ask you here, it's gonna take out these scales, then it's gonna give you the names and what are the scale sizes. Then you start putting at least one or two like that. You get 10 marks. Or he can give you the scale sizes and then he needs the names of the drawings here. So a locality plan is different from a site plan. Because a site plan shows the location of a site or dwelling in relation to existing main roads. That is a site plan. Then a locality plan is similar to a site plan but shows the position of a dwelling or location of a dwelling in relation to nearby towns. Like if I'm in Boxburg, which towns are near me? There's Brakpan, there's what, mention Jamestown. So they do the blocks all around to show that there's a town near African Academy and these are the towns. That is a locality plan. A site plan is not, showing the nearby towns, but only the main roads nearby. Then there's plumbing installation drawn on this scale. You can see 1, 2, 3 scales only for plumbing. When we come to all the layout and sectioning and elevations, these are the standard sizes we will use. General structural arrangement, these are the standard. General arrangement is the foundations, those detailed drawings. They are almost similar scales. They are drawn at a lower scale, not more bigger scales like that. Why site plan and floor plan are drawn on a bigger scale? Because they are huge drawings, huge drawings. They need to be scaled down 100 times smaller. Or if it's a site plan, 200 we use for a site plan. You see, standard size, 1 to 200. Also, because it's drawn at a bigger scale, you find that the property is maybe 100 meters by 100 meters. You see how big is that? You need to scale it down so that it is able to fit in a template. That is the essence of scaling up and down. To have a drawing fit in the template, but without tampering with dimensions. Dimensions must be correct dimensions as in real life.
Yes.
Even after scaling. Okay.
Okay.
Then this one is a table for the material components. You have to know they can give you symbols, then they want the names. Or you can bring this table, it gives you the names, but it needs the drawings of the symbols. And disturbed earth is the earth that hasn't been dug into. It's not disturbed at all. It's in its own natural state. Then earth fill is when you dig the soil and mix it with other things like rubble, it's disturbed soil. That is the earth fill. The hardcore is what we put like before the concrete slab to strengthen the concrete slab. Marble, stones, rocks, wood, anything they throw there and they start doing compact until they put the, concrete screed or slab on top. That is the symbol for hardcore. We are going to use this when we come to sectioning, because sectioning will reveal to us everything from the roof to the ground. And this is where we show these symbols.
Yes. Okay.
Okay, this is also another symbols. The other symbols that you have to know are screed. There's screed like they use on plaster or finished floor. There's concrete with a bit of some rough things. It's not very fine. Screed is usually very fine. They don't put the sand in there. They use cement and water for fine finish. And yeah, these are metal symbols and wood and plywood. Plywood is this one with layers. This is another table showing the symbols for, all the materials that we need. This is glass. When we say glass, is a window. The middle part here is the glass. These two white things are the window sills. I mean this one here. This is a glass, and the sill, the smaller one is usually for inside. The bigger one is usually outside. This is a glass also, but with a big scale. That is a window.
Okay.
Color codes, you have to know the color coding that is used in the building construction. For every new material, every new masonry, and every new concrete, new masonry, new bricks, red. New concrete, green. New wood, yellow. So what they do is, in the exam, this table entirely can come in the exam, and I've seen so many times. They remove the names, and they want the color codes. Or they give you the names, they give you the color codes, they want the names. Either way, it can come for 10 marks. So have time to study these colors, and you must know them, which is also the same here. For any proposed new work that hasn't been built or started before, there is a red color. You have to put it in red. Any work that is existing, you don't color. Things to be demolished, let's say things you are planning to demolish to remove from the site, dashed lines. You will see on drawings that they are dashed lines. It's demolition work. These are the colors for drainage and plumbing installation. Drains and pipes, brown. Waste pipe, green. Soil and combined vents. All these, please keep them to heart. You have to know, because I don't know which table, whether it's theory or that's coming. I'm just guiding you to say this is important. Yeah. And then activity, they want you to draw this. Okay, not a problem. Title block, what must be shown on a title block? You know, guys, because you're already in the industry. I'm not going to waste time here. There's your title block with all the information there. Yeah, this is the information found on the title block. Number, checker, address, scale, date, and all that. This is an example of construction drawings with a true north. There's a true north arrow. This is a section through the foundation or through the floor. You can see the floor slab with the compact, yeah. This is a simple floor plan, very easy, with a toilet there, lounge, doors, windows, windows. Fine. If I zoom, it's only that I can't zoom. They have put room areas here. Room name and the floor finish in each room. Is it carpet? Is it screed? You have to text. And the standard text height for all your drawings is 3.5 millimeters, 3.5 millimeters. Except for the title. You see this is a title here. The title is 5 millimeters high. Text height is 5 millimeters. And then any other text should be 3.5. These are elevations, you know, viewing the house all around, east, north, south, west. There are the elevations. I can't see a site plan, it's not here. You will see a site plan. I want to go to a site plan. Okay, block plan or locality plan, I've explained what they are. They show on the map, you know, roads and other details. An example is this one. There's a site that is proposed house site. They have to show you the nearby towns and the main roads at least. You see town head, roundabout, you know, all that. This is a locality or a block plan. When we come to a site plan, there is a site plan with the nearby roads. We don't need the names of towns. That is a site plan. Floor plan usually show the layout of the rooms, key dimensions and levels. What we mean by levels is you find that the garage is at a lower level than the main house. So those are what we call levels. At what height are they from the finished floor level? Maybe the house is at 500 millimeters higher than the ground floor line. What level is the garage floor finish? So you show on the floor plan and all the dimensions. And the key rooms, room names and the room finishes, we show also. What else? Fittings, like toilet, bathroom, whatever. These fixtures must be shown on the floor plan. Usually, it's not important to show the bed and furniture and all that. It's not counting for marks. What's counting for marks is dimensions and the rest of the things, room names and the title and the scale and the fittings. We call them sanitary fittings. Every plumbing fitting on the house, starting from the kitchen to the bathroom, must be shown on the floor plan. This is just a sample floor plan given to you. You can see the brickwork is outlined, it's thick, visible. Look at the doors and the windows and the staircase and the furniture. They are in a lighter layer, which is construction layer. And each room has got the name, you can see. Though they have put wiring here, here we don't need wiring in our, exam and stuff. They don't need these bulbs, no. Just show the toilet, these important things, sanitary fittings. This bed is not going to be that important, but the only time the bed becomes important is once you want to find the size of the bedroom. Is it going to be a queen size, king size, maybe 2 double beds? Then you can design your bedroom using the size of the bed. And the size of the bed you are going to find on our library. It's already drawn to standard size 1:1. Everything we are going to draw will be 1:1 until we finish, then we scale down. Whether it's a site plan, it's a floor plan, it will start to be on 1:1. If they say 20 meters, you type 20,000 because AutoCAD is metric. It uses millimeters. until everything is finished, before you put your dimensions and before you start to text or to put annotations. Scale your drawing down and put in the template and start to dimension and put the text. That is the procedure.
Okay.
Yeah, okay, elevations, I've talked about them. These are examples of elevations for a double storehouse. Fine. A section, or they're saying any section drawing must show this. Stair detail, internal wall, the eaves, it's the edges of your roof, at the corner of the roof overhang. It's called eave. The wall opening, external and internal, this will come and learn when we do sectioning. That is the sectional drawing. Component drawings are windows and doors, all those small details. Like this is a section through a wall and the window section. There is a window section. If they can ask in question 1, you need to know this. And to the foundation.
Okay.
I'm going to, this is important. Types of construction drawings. Starting with preliminary drawings. These are initial drawings, concept drawings, we call them conceptual drawings. It's after coming up with an idea. You are doing a rough sketch, you know, it's preliminary. Just you sketch. Then presentation, you have to present the drawings to people that can help you to improve it, those that are experienced. You present them, and then if there's improvements, you're going to improve. After you improve the drawings, now you have to come and draw construction or working drawings, which are the drawings we send to site. We call them final working drawings. The shop drawings or some assembly drawings are just small drawings that are drawn inside the workshop, you know, on site. They're not bigger drawings. Detailed drawings, we know about the foundation, the windows, and the doors are all detailed drawings.
Okay.
All right, and then these rules, that's the one I said, please go through in the book, page 43 to 58. Go and read the National Building Regulations for building standards. You know, read through all the duties of draftsmen, approval of local authority, how do they appoint control officers. This you just need to know because you're in the industry, but in the exam, the only thing they can ask here is this, duties of people involved in a project. Yeah, but let's not just underestimate, go through everything, just in case the examiner changes the setup. Okay, I want a site plan, because I want you to start working on a site plan. Let me just jump this. Yeah, site plan. Checklist of a site plan. This is what must a site plan, or must be on any site plan. True north, ERF number, it's a plot number, you know. Street name, distance to and the name of the nearest crossroads, boundary dimensions, which is the property lines, setting out dimensions or building setbacks. These building setbacks are dimensions from the property line to the building where the house is starting, or from the building line to the house, so that the guys going to dig the trenches, they will know that, oh, it's 2 meters from the building corner there. Then they know where to start digging the foundation.
Yes, we normally call that one a set out point.
That's why they're saying setbacks, yes.
Yeah.
They are called set out points. That one must be shown on a site plan. Then you need to show the sewerage and drainage layout, main connection points. Main connection, and also from the toilet, you show dashed lines to the main connection. Rainwater pipes can be shown there. Any drainage connections must go to the connection point. The vehicle access is the entry to the yard. You have to indicate on any site plan where is the gate, usually nearby the street, nearby the road. You show access. The title and scale, proposed and existing dwelling outline. Outline only, it's the outside boundaries of your house only, and write the name inside proposed dwelling. This is 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Sometimes some of them are 1, 1, 1, 1, but it's 16. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. Somewhere 16, 18 marks you will get for the site plan. Then draw the site plan from the information given from the land surveyor. It's a copy and paste. Then dimension of boundaries, okay, it's the same things. I wanted a site plan. This is a land surveyor's drawing, similar to a site plan. There is a standard site plan that you can see, though the text are not visible. But information that you see must all the time be there, as it is given in the question paper. Don't leave anything. Type everything that is given on any site plan. Look at this edge here. This edge is our property line. Can you see that one? The thick dashed line, which is the boundary line. On the corners here, you have to draw circles using the same layer as this one. These circles are called the property pegs, you know, the beacons, but they call them pegs, yeah, concrete pillars. Diameter of this is 600 diameter. Before you scale down, you must write your notes. Those circles are 600, 600, 600. Then you are going to offset the outside line, which is your property line, to get the building line. This is the building line. And in many cases, the house will start on the building line. But I see this house did not touch the building line, only the garage. Can you see this is a garage? It is sitting on the building line, at least on one edge here. Yeah, it is sitting on one line. So you must make sure you do this, and this is the roof edge layer. You see the dashed lines around the house. It is the roof edge. And this roof is called the Gable-End Roof. Gable-End Roof. G-A-B-E-L. A gable-end roof is a pitch roof. You know, it slopes only on two sides, this side and this side.
Yes.
Here it's a gable end, it's flat here and there it's flat. When we come to this corridor here, it's got a slope here on the right and on the left. It's also a gable end here. So you must know there are two types of roof types. One is a gable end and the other one is a hip roof. The hip roof is the one that slopes on all the four sides. You know, it's coming here, sloping there, sloping here, sloping there. You know, it slopes on all the sides. It is called a hip roof. In the specifications, they will give you what type of roof the house will have. Then you show on your site plan the roof plan. And the gap between the inner line, there's an inner line here which is very thick using outline layer. It's the property size of your house. This is the area of your house. Then the roof overhang will be given in the question. Usually it's given on question 3. What is the roof overhang? 300 millimeters or 400. Then you offset this brickwork outside by the roof overhang. You offset going outside. You can also see the dashed lines coming to the main municipal connection line. This one. This is a sewer connection point. They are showing how the pipes will be coming, meaning the bathroom will be somewhere here. You know, all your sewer lines, you bring them here. Then from there, they go into the main street. If there is a street name here, there will be a main connection line here, where each house will be depositing its own, you know, waste until to municipality. So the street name, the title is important, true north is important, boundary dimensions, these are dimensions. A to B, maybe point A to B, they say is 24 meters. B to C, these are all given to you. Then the distance between them will be supplied here. They'll say 2 meters building line, 1.5 building line. It means offset from here to here, 1.5. From here to there, 2 meters. So read the information. I need to look at another site plan that's visible. Let's see. This is a floor plan. This is a site plan, but a site plan that came in one of the exam papers, this one. It came in form of a 3D, but it's not a problem. You can see the setting out point. You see those pegs.
Yes,
and I want to tell you that sometimes these angles are not given in the question paper. You see now they have provided you with angles. If they don't give you these angles, take your question paper. You need to come with a protractor in the exam so that you measure the angles on the question paper with your protractor. Then you feed those angles on AutoCAD. That it's easy as that. If they don't give you the angles on the corners of the pegs, you know, this is your property line. Yeah, so you need to
don't forget that one.
you need to come with your protractor.
Yes.
Correct. The north arrow is here, the tree is here, manhole is here. Though it's in 3D, if they asked you to draw a site plan of this nature, you are not going to show this building the way it is. You just take the outside dimensions. Can you see? Only the outside dimensions and say proposed dwelling. This will be part of the floor plan. The windows, gaps, and all that. It will be part of your floor plan question. On a site plan, we need outside boundary of the house.
Okay.
Yeah, including the brick thickness. The standard brick size for external bricks is 220. Okay, 220 millimeters thick. And then
And
the
what's the standard brick size for internal?
110.
110.
110 by 75 by 75 high. This one is 220 by 110 by 75 high. All of them are 75 high.
Okay.
So that's what you must know. Some of the question papers I've seen, there's 230, you know, just read the specifications before you rush to answer the question, because you might find that the brick size is changed. Maybe they're using 115 and 230. It can happen that way. But in case they don't mention, you must use 220 and 110 for internal.
Okay.
Yes, let's go to, okay. This one anyway, it's an example of a finished floor plan from an examiner. Detailed, we'll come to that. I'm looking for a site plan. All right, in AutoCAD, the drawing must look like this. Can you see the drainage pipes coming to main municipal line? This is the drawing. Look at the layers, standard layers.
Okay.
These fixtures, the toilet fixtures and the rest, the same layer you find them on, you can leave them, because gray layer is not very dark when you print. You can leave it in that layer. Then windows and doors must be on construction, also very light layer. And there is the roof edge here. You can see the roof edge all around there. And then the windows, the way they open is very important, because like this one is opening from right going to the left. This one is right going, left going to the right. You know that the handle is on this side.
Yeah. Yes.
All right, I am looking for a site plan. But what you can do is go through the question papers and try to answer. I'm looking for a site plan. Sorry, guys. This will come and discuss later. You go through any question paper, and then what you must do is answer the question on site plan. Okay, this is a manhole. I think you remember I mentioned about the manhole. In question 1, they can ask you to draw this manhole. It's a section through a manhole and show everything. So you must know it also by heart.
Yes.
Yes. I know there was a site plan somewhere. All right, we finished. I'm going to show you next time on the site plan, but in the book, there is site plans that you,
yes, I saw that.
You saw it, ne?
Yeah.
I'll try to share that quickly. There's the book. Are you able to see the book?
Almost.
Almost.
It's still going up. There we go.
So let's go to site plan. What page is this? I know it's somewhere. Yeah, mine is still opening.
Yeah. You said your AutoCAD is not working.
It's not working. I'm just forgetting.
I'm not going to have the AutoCAD class next day.
Also, I'm not going to do the AutoCAD class. I need to apologize on that one. You need just to have time to go through the videos that are on Google Classroom. Yeah, we won't do the AutoCAD class. I'm going to write on the group. But the videos are fine. You can watch them and understand everything I explained. Basically, what you need to know is there.
All right.
At the end of this book, let me just go to the end. There is a site plan. There is past papers. This is one of the past papers at the back of the book. This is a site plan. So how the question comes, let's go there. Here, question 5. It's a question paper. Refer to figure 1, diagram 1, and copy the site plan using scale 1 to 200. The following must be included and indicated on the site plan. They even give you a checklist. We need boundary lines and the pegs, position of driveway, and the building lines as shown, proposed dwelling in correct position, the drainage system, direction of the true north, title and scale, the name of the street. When you come, it's a copy and paste because everything is here. AB is the size, which is this side. From A to B is 20,000 meters, 20,000 millimeters. Then you go up from B to C, you type 19,130, that's times 1,000.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Then this angle was not given. So you leave this line and then come and draw here, and then you can connect the two. ERF number must be shown. This information about the sewer connection, you have to read how deep it goes, what is the diameter, you have to write. North arrow is
standard
here.
size there is the standard depth is 1.2, so yeah, that's the minimum standard
There is
depth.
1.2 standard depth, correct. And the north arrow is here. I want to mention this before I stop now. The direction of the north arrow determines the north elevation. When we come to do elevations from the floor plan, you see where the arrow is pointing. It doesn't mean that your north is here. It's where the arrow is pointing. This face of the house, the bottom face of your house here is our north elevation. We are going to be viewing from the south field road, from the road side. That side is the north elevation because the arrow is pointing down. If the arrow is pointing up as the north, we would have taken the opposite side as our north, then this side as our south. So the north is down, the south is this side. Where is the east? This side. On the left, yeah. Then the west will be here. So that is the thing to take note of now. It's the position of the north arrow. The cutting plane line is cutting here. They want to come and see the section when we cut the house through here. Mostly make sure that your cutting plane line is cutting through a window. We need it to cut through a window to show the window section. You know, when you're in section, they want to see the window section. At least one side, if not both sides. You need to cut through a window.
Okay.
Correct. This line you see here, the dashed line, it's a firewall. You know, a firewall, the house and the garage. That's why they do a dashed line here. You are going to put a 220 wall here, not 110. It's going to be 220 when we design the floor plan here.
All right.
So I would suggest we start with any question paper. Let me know whichever question paper you can choose from the ones I've shared, and then we take it from there. If not, I can post on the group chat to say building drafting work. I can post a question paper now. Let me just choose a question paper. I'll share on the WhatsApp group and then do that one. Yes.
Okay.
Okay, from my side, it's done. We'll see you the next time. No AutoCAD class. You see the time is almost 4 o'clock. I'm knocking off.
All right. Enjoy the rest of your weekend.
Thank you so much, Rodney.
Okay.
Bye.